It's no secret that spirituality hasn't experienced a revival such as this since the 80s. But with widespread internet access, it's no surprise that the topics around spirituality and the conversations have become not only vast, but somewhat confusing. So why is it that spirituality is getting its day in the limelight again? Why has it become such a hot topic in these turbulent times? And where does its mainstream appeal stem from? This is what I'll be diving into in the first of our conversation pieces. Warm greetings to you all. I'm High Priestess Demari, and I graciously welcome you to our brand new YouTube channel for the Temple of Osrane. This will be the first of many videos to come where we discuss topics surrounding spirituality, philosophy, and psychology. So I hope that you will enjoy the content. As I mentioned at the start of the video, spirituality has undergone somewhat of a revamp. People all around the world are once again considering the larger questions in life. Who am I really? What is my soul journey? Does unity consciousness actually exist? Where did all of this really come from? What is source, God, or the creator? Many attribute this shift, if not somewhat divinely guided, but naturally occurring to the shift that's taking place in the collective consciousness overall. Many of our ancestors around the world had prophecies around this time of awakening, discussing what will happen after a period of dormancy to the consciousness of the collective, and how this reawakening would trigger a shift in the paradigm. But the question is, what is really kicking all of this off? What was it that brought spirituality out of the closet and away from this stereotypical label of tree-hugging hippie nonsense and into the spheres of scientific study and serious questioning? Personally, and this is just my humble opinion, I believe astrology and psychology played a huge role in this shift, especially when it comes to the 20th century. Then I would say in its later day, motivational coaching and the laws of attraction also influenced this coming about into the mainstream discussion. Speaking of coaching, have you ever wondered what it would be like to further explore your own personal spiritual journey? Perhaps you're wondering where your interest in spirituality is leading to. Maybe you're trying to discover what your personal soul mission is, or whether the life path you wish to take at this time is in alignment with who you are here and now, or the person you are becoming. If you'd like to discuss your journey with someone who's already been through it, I do recommend checking out my new coaching sessions, specifically designed for those who are on their spiritual journey or are seeking to embark on this incredible experience. So with the spiritual coaching sessions, I personalize the discussion to your specific needs. We'll look at the key areas of development and or for consideration, as well as creating a personalized action plan to help you take those initial steps and for keeping track of your progress. More information regarding this can be found at my website, demarivisit.com. Otherwise, you can also check out the link in the description box below to get the link to the direct page on my website. So, I hope you'll find it useful. Okay, back to the subject matter at hand. So, as I mentioned earlier, I strongly believe astrology and psychology played a crucial role in bringing spiritual concepts back into the mainstream. Since the early 90s, since I've been around, I've always known horoscopes to be a thing, and people frequently read or watch them. Whether it was on TV, in a magazine, or a newspaper, people wanted to know what was written in the stars and what pitfalls and claims to success they should be keeping an eye out for. However, before the 1960s, astrology hadn't received as much public attention since the Victorian era. With the advent of peaceful protests against wars, famine, and human rights abuses, peace, love, and unity was very much becoming a mantra of the rebellious youth. With this came the interest in exploring transcendental modalities as well as psychedelics. This gave rise to a number of New Age philosophies, gurus, and horoscopes being publicized once again in newspapers and magazines worldwide. For many, it even became a teenage pastime to host sleepovers and mess around with the Ouija boards with friends just to see which spirits they could awaken. Before we continue, disclaimer, that is not something I would recommend, but that's a whole entire other subject that I'll leave for another video. So as we know, in the 70s and 80s, there was a number of cult-like independent churches and organizations forming. At a time where capitalism as a whole grew to reign supreme, people were seeking something outside of the day-to-day monotony of consumerism. I feel that the rise of Wall Street and the generational glamorization of being a big shot in a suit and living the American dream also played a big role in this. Many turned to motivational speakers to give them the pep in their step and know how to rise in the corporate ranks. Perhaps unknowingly, this also led to people looking into the laws of attraction a little later down the line and becoming somewhat obsessed with the idea of manifestation, as well as using key dates with regards to planetary transits to make said wishes known to an external force, whether that's God, Source, the Creator, or the universe. It was clear people wanted something to believe in again. After so many falling away from problematic churches and out of alignment with more dogmatic belief systems, it was its own form of resistance. Fast forward to the present day, and numerous women's lifestyle magazines feature columns and insights from celebrity astrologers who create charts for the biggest names in pop and business. So it's like they say, millionaires don't use astrologers, but billionaires do. Though astrology concerns itself with astronomy, the position, movement, and interaction of planets alongside their transits through various constellations, there is an undeniable association with spirituality, especially when you factor in the houses and how they govern the various aspects of the human experience. This is where we can also factor in psychology, that has grown to become a well-respected science in its own right. Groundbreaking psychotherapists and psychiatrists such as Carl Jung have hypothesized the role that metaphysics, the soul, and astrology may play in mental health and cognitive function, which you gotta admit is still somewhat taboo in this day and age, never mind the status quo of the 1930s. Nowadays, concepts such as doing shadow work, another term coined by Dr. Jung, is more commonplace in the spiritual community than it is in the mental health community. Honestly, this is a subject that I could go into great length and discuss for days, but the purpose of this video is simple. I just wanted to give you some insights as to the roles these areas played. So these are just some of my thoughts, but what do you guys think? How did you get into spirituality? What was your mainstream connection to it? And how much of a role do you think celebrities actually play in it? Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to get your feedback and hear how you think this shift came around and what your early experience with spirituality was. But thank you guys so much for watching the very first of many topical pieces that we will be creating here. I hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful or interesting. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up and a share. It really does help this channel to grow and also have the opportunity to bring this content to those who would otherwise perhaps not see it, right? So it gives us an opportunity to put this in front of the eyes of those who would also find it interesting, beneficial, and especially with some of the other subject matters that we'll be going to in greater detail. So I'm sending you guys so much love and I really appreciate the support. It's great to be starting this channel and I really look forward to bringing you some amazing insights, information, and just to get the discussion going. So thank you so much. Send you guys all my love and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.